Jake, the time is now for 36A. This is the big game of the year. McAllen and Memorial, both undefeated. They go head-to-head at Memorial Stadium. What do you see happening in that game?
Look, I had a chance today. Mario Reyna, who calls the games for...
yeah, my old boy.
Yeah.
Volleyball ref too, right?
Yeah, from McAllen ISD. He's calling the game tomorrow, and he asked me what I thought, and I thought this game's a 3-point game. Regardless of what you think about either team, it's going to be a close game. All rivalry games are. I think if McAllen can hold Spates to where he can't run out the edges, because he's done a good job this year as far as hitting the edges and taking off.
Man, and going 80.
Yeah. If they can kind of pinch him in. Now, he's still great between the tackles, too.
Yeah.
But if they can keep him in, and then you got to challenge Pedraza to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And, you're going to have to make DJ Johnson, Sanchez, all the receivers make plays.
Do you put a spy on the kid? And, of course, I'm not an expert, but gosh, I mean, you got some fast, quick kid on defense. Just follow this guy wherever he goes. Of course, it's easier said than done.
Yeah, fast, quick kids that can tackle him too. Yeah.
He'll be in a Maserati chasing the kid. Get over here. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, last year was a crazy game, high scoring. Memory serves, it was 50-48 or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised to see it again. So if either team can play solid defense, then they can win.
Yeah. And it's going to come down to defense. It always in these games, it's always about, it's not so much the offense that takes over, it's the defense that really kind of stymies the other team.
Well, now we would normally say, and we tried to spin it like that, this game will determine the championship. What about Palmview? Palmview's undefeated. Palmview's in the playoffs, man. Palmview can win that district. They play both of these teams coming up.
Yeah. Now, that's the thing, though. They're playing these teams coming up. So, they're undefeated because they played the lower end of their district.
Yes, they have.
Now, they beat Rowe.
Yeah.
So
they were behind too, 10-7 in the second. I noticed that was an interesting thing.
Yeah. So now but look, they're going to make the playoffs, which is great for Palmview.
Oh, it's amazing, first time. And now the question is, we love Palmview. They're doing good. What about that fourth playoff spot, dude? Because there's 4 teams. 2 are 0-3, 2 are 1-3.
Mm-hmm.
They're all going to play each other the next couple of weeks. The thing is, here's the deal: Lincoln and Mission at 0-3, they have 3 games left. But La Jolla and Rowe are 1-3. They only have 2 games left. So you got to try to pile up the wins, man. These 2 teams have more of a chance.
Yeah, they've got to win now because that last week, it's not going to be fun if you're sitting there wondering if you're in or not.
Right, and Mission plays, Mission plays Memorial the last week, and they're going to have a hard time beating them. So they got to win a couple here if they want to get in.
Yeah.
Someone's going to get in the 4th spot, right?
Yeah. And, look, at this point, you just want to get in. Because it's you want to see what's going to happen in the next season.
Who's it going to be?
I still think it's Rowe.
Is it going to be Rowe? Here's Rowe's deal. They're getting the yards, man, but they're like the Oilers in the 90s, man. With Moore and Moon, they're going up and down the field between the 20s, but they're not getting points. John had 413 yards passing. But they only scored 17 points. That's just, that's unusual.
Yeah.
So they got to,
especially for that offense. Offense, the Paul Reyes offense, they always seem to be able to score. And this year, it's been the opposite ever since the Ed Couch game.
Yeah, they had 3 guys with more than 100 yards receiving, so they're starting to crank it up. But if you have 500 yards of offense, you've got to get 30 or 40 points. And if they do, they can beat most of the teams in the district. I still feel like they're going to emerge.
Oh, I think so too. I think Rowe is. La Jolla had a very good run at the beginning of the year, but I don't want to say reality set in, but everybody kind of caught on to what they do.
Yeah, and so who's going to gain the 4th spot? Who's going to gain the 1st spot? We're thinking Memorial McAllen winner, but I'm telling you, Palmview has made that district very interesting this year. Okay, now what do you want to do? You want to go to 31? Or you want to take a break?
You know what? Let's move right into 31. Let's do it.
Well, let's do it. Well, tell me the games. You got the list here, or can you read my handwriting? It's been written in Hebrew.
All right, real good game. Thursday game. PSJ North versus Westlake East. Now, East is coming off a bye. PSJ North is coming off an incredible game where they had to come back from a big deficit to an economy.
21-7 they were down. They came on back. PSJ North is like Los Fresnos. Those teams bounce up and down like rubber balls. They usually end up on top. Westlake East has a week to rest, man.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
And they needed it because there are some little dings and stuff like that. They needed it, yeah. And with that team too, they do a lot of ground pounding. So it's
a lot of crazy games. I think they are a little bit fatigued, man. So they should be strong coming off the bye.
Yeah. Now this is going to be polar opposites in teams. PSJ North is going to air out the ball, and Westlake East, and Westlake East is going to just pound, and maybe a running back pass from one to somebody else.
They're going to pitch the ball to Lupe and say, go to town. And he's done that pretty well so far, to the tune of more than 1,000 yards. Him and Villarreal, I think, went over 1,000 for Palmview, and the kid. Those are the three. I have to check my stats, but I know those three are over 1,000. Oh, wait, you know what? JJ went over 1,000, and so did Garate, I think. Garate for Rio Hondo. So, we're starting to get the stats piling up, and people are piling up yards. Some teams are, some teams aren't. What else do we got? PSJ North and East. Now, North is 3-1, East is 2-1. These are the two teams I feel right now have the best chance to win the district.
Oh, yeah.
Although
I think so too.
you can't count out Weslaco.
No.
I told you.
Weslaco is playing their best defense of the season. Their offense has come alive. They're throwing the ball.
Yeah.
more than they ever have in the past.
A couple of touchdown passes. Well, he does that, man. The Panthers will gradually start throwing the ball. They had people fooled, man, but they got Edinburgh North, and they got him in the corner, and they clubbed him to death. 62-10. I couldn't believe that score.
Yeah, I was there on the field in the first quarter.
Were the
three turnovers in a row. Two picks and one fumble.
21-0 in the first quarter. He's hard to come back from that. I don't care who you are and who you're playing. That's just a blow to the morale right there.
I had a nice picture of Tony V from Weslaco. He wanted to smile. I know he wanted to smile. He just held it in. But, man, they outplayed Edinburgh North from the get-go.
Now, North has to bye 2-2. They're still in the race. They still got 2 district wins, but they just got to regroup, man. They're doing a little shuffle on the roster. Their quarterbacks in and out, 1 and 2. They still have what it takes, but they gotta get past this and get that bye week and get some rest and come back and play better, man. Because that 62-10 is not how you want to lose in a district game like that, man.
No, especially mid-season. I mean,
October.
You're trying to build for the postseason, not.
Right. Let's see the character of the team and the program. I haven't been, at close quarters with that group. I believe in their character. Let's see them come back with a better effort when they get back. Now, okay, Weslaco, we talked about them at PSJ Memorial. Now, that's a pretty good ball game, huh?
Yeah, and PSJ Memorial, they're suffering through some injuries, some grades.
All of a sudden they were up, and now they kind of hit the...
Yeah, they've got to regroup right now because... Look, they played an Edinburgh team who I don't think anybody in the Valley probably picked them to win the game.
No, but they were on a mission, man.
Yeah.
Edinburgh, I'm writing about this in the Edinburgh Review this week. They're tired of the moral victories. They're tired of the we got close or the we tried hard. You have to get a win, and they got it. They didn't even give up a point until about 3 quarters were done. No, it was an outstanding effort by Edinburgh. Now they turn around and play the Jags at home. They're back in the race at 1 and 2. I promise you. I mean, in a league where a lot of teams have 2 losses, 1 loss is 1 game behind. You got time.
Yeah, and this team, I mean, if you look at it, they've equaled what last year's team, who had more. They had a quarterback that everybody was like, wow.
Yeah,
they had receivers. They had a couple good running backs. And Obregon and Sammy Jimenez.
Yeah,
they had good running back. They had a plethora of talent
and experience,
and they didn't
compared to this team.
Yeah, and they didn't put it together last year. This team they've done more with less, let's just say, this year.
And it's not over yet. It's not over for any team. The Jags are 0-3, but they've led in 2 games. They've had some mistakes. They've given up a little bit down the stretch. But if they win, if they run the table, they can make it.
Yeah.
Because I think 3 wins maybe gets you in.
They get to beat Edinburgh North to go in.
That's right. And they may, because Edinburgh North are struggling. So, speaking of Edinburgh High, it's been a tough season for them. They got that upset at home against PSJ Memorial, and you had a chance to talk to old Joaquin Escobar, the coach, the first-year coach.
Yeah, I wanted to find out how he was feeling because look, when they beat Mission 2-0. That was a big thing.
Single in the 7th.
Yeah, that was a big thing. They've been putting up points because for a while they only had 15 points going into.
They started scoring. They played better against North.
Yeah, and
they
then
lost 30-17, I think.
Yeah, and then
14.
14. Yeah, and then this game they scored 17. It's baby steps. But I wanted to find out, how Coach Escobar viewed so far how the season was going.
Well, let's find out what he had to say. Indeed.
It's got to feel pretty good to at least tie the record of last year's team with a team that a lot of people weren't giving you much of a shot with.
Yes, sir. It feels good. It feels good for the kids and the coaches mainly. I think they're the ones that really reap the rewards of it and of their hard work. And I'm excited and happy for them. We really haven't talked about last year's team or anything like that. We just talk about ourselves and the expectations we have for ourselves. And and like I told the kids today, the standard's being raised, and now it's up to them to make sure they maintain that standard. And and we don't mind being the underdogs. We've been told every game we're going to be lucky if we win, and I think I tell the kids that You know, that's okay. We need to play that role. If every game in the paper says it's an upset, we'll take it. You know, and I think that's a role that we've kind of accepted, and the kids have accepted. So, yeah, and it feels good. I mean, but now it feels like there's more expectation. So, you know, it feels good. But
Now your team has gone from a team that scored 15 points until like pretty much after your mission game
yeah,
to your mission victory to you've scored 17 in your last game, was it 15 or 14 the
Yes,
week
sir.
before. How have you guys been able to up the scoring average?
well, I think our defense is the key. Giving us a short field, them playing the way they play, and you know, our offense coordinator and our offensive staff has done a great job of coming in and kind of trimming back some stuff and kind of simplifying what we do, and just trying to get our kids better at what we do, and not trying to do too much. You know, it's a new offense for our kids, and I think that's been a big part of it. And you know, I think it's all about, you know, that chemistry, and it takes a while to build that chemistry, and everybody knows that. We're not any better coaches than anybody else. I think we just kind of simplified what we're doing, and our kids bought into what we're doing, and they're really the ones that play the game. So, you know, I think it's just a simplification of things.